The headless priest of Jeruk Purut Cemetery. They say, if you walk alone at midnight through a cemetery in South Jakarta and you hear footsteps that don't belong to you, don't turn around, because the one following you might not have a head. This is the story of the headless priest of Jeruk Purut Cemetery, a haunting that has terrified Jakarta for decades. Jeruk Purut Cemetery looks like any other burial ground during the day. Old gravestones covered in moss, tall trees shading the sun, and a faint smell of damp earth. But when the sun sets, everything changes. Locals say the wind there sounds different, as if it carries whispers. The cemetery's caretaker, Pak Ahmad, once told a journalist, "There's something wrong here. Sometimes at night, I hear someone walking, but when I turn my flashlight, there's no one, only a shadow without a head." According to legend, the ghost is that of a Dutch priest who once served a small church in the 1800s, long before the cemetery existed. He was said to be decapitated during a violent uprising. For reasons no one understands, his restless spirit wanders Jeruk Purut, even though his grave is believed to be in another cemetery entirely. In 1986, 3 young film students decided to test the legend. They brought a camera, a flashlight, and a cassette recorder. Their goal was to document proof of the haunting, maybe even use it for their horror project. They entered the cemetery around 11:45 p.m. One of them joked, "If the ghost appears, at least we'll be famous." But laughter soon faded. As they walked deeper between the graves, their flashlight started flickering. Then came the sound slow, heavy footsteps behind them. "Is that you, Artie?" one of them whispered. But Artie was standing right next to him. They turned around and saw nothing, only darkness. Then, in the faint moonlight, a figure appeared. A man in an old robe, carrying his own head. The students ran, screaming. Their camera fell to the ground, still recording. Later, when they played the tape, a faint voice whispered in Dutch, "Where is my church?" That same night, one of the students got into a strange motorcycle accident. He swore he saw a man in white crossing the road without a head. Locals began noticing a pattern. The ghost always appeared on Friday nights, around midnight, and always to groups of odd numbers 1, 3, or 5 people. Never even. Those who dared to visit in threes often heard the sound of dragging feet. Some said the headless priest walks with a large black dog. Others say if you hear church bells in the middle of the cemetery, it means he's near, even though there's no church anywhere nearby. Taxi drivers refuse to take passengers to Jeruk Purut after dark. A few said they once picked up a man in white robes on that road, only to find their backseat empty when they reached the gate. There's an iron gate at the north side of the cemetery. Locals call it the Gate of the Priest. A gravedigger once saw him there. He said the ghost appeared at exactly 12:33 a.m., standing still, holding his head under his arm, his other hand pointing toward the church that no longer exists. The man fainted. When he woke up, he found deep scratches on his arms, 3 marks, as if from claws. Since then, no one dares to stand near that gate after midnight. Today, Jeruk Purut is still an active cemetery. Every week, people come to visit their loved ones, but no one stays after dusk. If you ever visit there, and you hear the wind whisper your name, or you see a shadow move where no one stands, just keep walking. And whatever you do, don't look back. Because in Jeruk Purut, not everyone who walks behind you still has a head. This is Jakarta's most famous haunting, the headless priest of Jeruk Purut. Would you dare visit the cemetery alone?